wrestling fans, welcome back to Ultra. I have been looking forward to this one. Lance Anoa'i of the legendary Anoa'i Samoan family battles Brian Pillman Jr. of the Club Cam Zagami-led Uprising faction. Two hungry young athletes, part of great professional wrestling families. Brian Pillman Jr., obviously the son of the late, great Brian Pillman, who passed away in October of 1997. Both men making their in-ring Millennium Wrestling Federation debut tonight here on week 3 of a new year, a new decade, a new chapter of the Millennium Wrestling Federation. Both of these hungry young athletes are going to be raring and ready to go when we hit Somerville in Somerville, Massachusetts, Saturday night, March the 28th, for MWF Project X Loose Cannons, an 18-plus only event brought to you by Pillman and the Uprising. That is going to be interesting in and of itself. We're going to be talking a lot more about that in the weeks to come. Pillman with the early headlock advantage. Anoa'i too smart not to give the man too much of an arm. Off the ropes he goes, and Pillman with the momentum. Nip up from Anoa'i. I've seen a lot of both of these gentlemen before this match. Very proud to have both of them here in the MWF. These are the type of athletes we want to see much more of in the weeks, the months, the years, and even decades to come. Hey, we're only a year and a half away from our 20th anniversary, right? Pillman with the early advantage right there, trying to cut off that oxygen supply. But much too early for that. He's got a ways to go to wear down Anoa'i with those thick Samoan legs. Grabs the rope. Referee Dan Tanaka, happy to have him back in the MWF. Gets the quick break. Along with MWF Project X Loose Cannons on March 28th in Somerville, we're back right here at Memorial Hall for the big one. Back to the 80s WrestleFest, Saturday night, April the 11th. Big spring here in the MWF. We're looking forward to it, and we want you to be part of it every step of the way, every week with these televised and online videos, especially at the live events. We need your support to make these great events happen. Anoa'i going to work on the arm of Brian Pillman right there. With Pillman's speed and agility, you'd think he'd want to go after a leg early on. One man's opinion. I'm certainly not a professional wrestler. Look at the athleticism from Pillman right there. Instead of a thumb to the eye, it was almost like he got a couple of toes to the eye. Samoans are known for having very strong heads, but if you try and take out someone's eyeball, it's not going to do them a heck of a lot of good. Just ask Kaku. Pillman again trying to wear down Lance. Lance rolls out of it again. Too early to go for that. More damage needs to be done to the man's body before he's going to be able to put him away. Right there, that could injure the elbow. That could injure the wrist. He's not taking a break, putting Pillman in a position like that. Whoa! Well, couple of knife-edge chops right there. He's going to lift up that Anoa'i t-shirt. He wants the skin, not the shirt. He's dedicating it to someone in the crowd, it looks like. Oh, he hesitated too long. And look at that. That almost chopped him into the next corner post. Make it 2 from Lance Anoa'i. 3 times a John. Anoa'i sets up Pillman, reversal into the post. Pillman roaring and ready to go. Oh, no. There's going to see a drop kick. What a disgrace. Wow, what an insult to Lance Anoa'i. Slapping him across the mouth instead of hitting the drop kick. Wow, that I wouldn't want to fire the man up. That's a big athlete he's in the ring with. A very thick athlete. Kicks to the face. Neck breaker. Hooks the leg. Smart wrestling, but again, too early on to put away an athlete the caliber of Pillman. Oh, headbutt. It almost looked like hit the shoulder there. Maybe not the head altogether. Hooks the leg. Nope. Not enough. Out just after the 2 count. Dr. David Reese has gone above and beyond to bring some of these great athletes here to the MWF in this new chapter. We have Tony Atlas as a great resource to us, putting these events together in the roster. Chairman Manolian, imperative in what's going on here. It's a great team we have here in Boston Wrestling Sports. Be in the ring and behind the scenes. Pillman over the top rope, holds on before he hit the floor. And Anoa'i returned the favor with that slap. Zagami's got to get his man going. Club Cam, he's making waves from coast to coast with all this money he made off of appearing on the American Grit reality show with John Cena. Wait a minute, right there. Oh, no, Cam Zagami almost got a boot to the face. I don't know why he didn't take his head off. Wait a minute, we're going to see here. This could be a very unpleasant landing, and it sure was. I don't care how hard a Samoan head is, being dropped face first into the hardest part of the ring. No good. This is the clothesline right there. He's going to be on rubbery legs, if not dizzy. And now back first, again into that very painful part of the squared circle. Anoa'i trying to regroup. Pillman and Zagami look like they're having the time of their life. A big mistake. Dory Funk Jr. leg forearm uppercut from Brian Pillman Jr. Throwing him into the crowd. What's up with that? Ian Tanaka, I think, is going to have to be very liberal with the 20 count here with both superstars outside of the ring. Oh, wait a minute. They're in the crowd now. Kicking him in the foot. What an ultimate disrespect from Brian Pillman Jr. First he was slapping him across his face, now booting him across the face. Poked him in the eyes with his toes. Chop up against the guardrail again. Pillman tries to break up the count. And now he's doing sit-ups. Shades of Angelo Poffo. Wrestling fans, don't forget we're going to have another big announcement for MWF Project X. Back to the 80s WrestleFest. Royal Rumble Sunday. Who's going to join Jake the Snake Roberts, Tony Atlas, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, and more as we go back to the 80s on April 11th here at Memorial Hall. Oh, Lance Anoa'i's ribs could be broken there. They might not even make it to 2021. Fans trying to rally support around Anoa'i. What is Pillman doing? He's crazy. Again, he feigns going for a drop kick and he gets the super kick instead. A very uncanny, unorthodox individual is Brian Pillman Jr. And I'm going to tell you, fans, 10, 20 years from now, you're going to be seeing and hearing things about Pillman. I have belief, no matter who's managing him, whether he's going at it alone, as part of a stable, his career is going big-time places. Elbow drop from Pillman. Very, very, very lazy pinfall, and not enough to put away Lance. Lance Anoa'i, if you're not familiar with him, fans, he's the grandson of WWE Hall of Famer Afa of the Wild Samoans. His dad is Head Shrinker Samu, former WWE Tag Team Champion from 1994. He's got professional wrestling in his blood. And the same can be said for Pillman, the son of Brian Pillman. I would have loved to have seen what Brian Pillman would have contributed to professional wrestling during the Attitude Era. Certainly an individual that I believe was even ahead of his time. Right now, Pillman is putting Club Cam to use, trying to stretch out Anoa'i. Maybe they could have looked for a better position, being within inches of the referee. Club Cam, another unusual human being, but you know what? He's got the money. Fox Television thought he was worthy of American Grit with John Cena, and he's invested the money wisely. We saw what happened earlier this month after Christian Casanova defeated the debuting Trey Lamar. They introduced Vicky Guerrero as the senior advisor of the faction. Lance Anoa'i back up on his feet, putting those Samoan hands to use. Look like he was biting him right there for a split second. Sets him up into the corner post. Anoa'i charges, but Pillman charges out of the turnbuckle with a big-time clothesline of his own. He should be trying to go for the pin. Again, very disrespectful, and I don't think that's the best use of the time in this matchup. He should be looking to win the match. That clothesline was explosive. And again, he's trying to stretch Anoa'i out. Lance gets his foot on that bottom rope. Pulls him to the center of the ring. Smart wrestling from Pillman. And now, again, he has that advantage. Anoa'i is in no man's land. Trying to stretch him in half right now. Zagami has come up with a good game plan. They just haven't been able to finish it off. very lax covers. Try and beat the man. Try and win the match. Not embarrass him. Wait a minute. Anoa'i reverses it, but no. Pillman again with the upper hand. He cannot reach the ropes with his feet from the position he's in right now, at least. Anoa'i struggling with all his might. Both of these men want to be victorious in their MWF debut. There's more money coming away with a victory than a loss. Anoa'i gets out of it. No, it would have been true. Look at that. Anoa'i out pushes him into the post. No. Pillman again with the upper hand tosses him out of the ring. An elbow smash from the apron. Right now they're trading forearms. Both of these men want it. They can taste it. They can feel it. Sets Pillman back up into the ring. Can Anoa'i rally? Headbutt to the midsection. Sunset flip. Attempted sunset flip. He got over far enough. Look at Zagami. No. Tanaka, good move. Break that up. 2, 3. Very, 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 very close. Pillman escapes. Kick to the head. That could hurt his foot. Wow. Delayed pinfall count by Dan Tanaka. That could have cost Pillman. Right there. Huh. Interesting. Dan Tanaka's been with us for so many years here in the MWF. One of the most talented officials you'll find. But no one is perfect. Pillman right now going to work on the midsection of Lance Anoa'i. Positions him up on the top rope. What are we going to see here? Slaps him across the face again. I think the disrespect is a bad move. You don't want to fire up a Samoan and make them angry. Believe me. What are we going to see here? Again, he's very enthused about interacting with the crowd, and he's not paying attention to the opponent. Now Pillman is down. Anoa'i on the attack. Pillman out of the way. Drop kick to the midsection. He looked like a cannon coming out of the post. Look at that! Cannonball into the corner. Pillman made a big mistake not putting him away when he had the chance. Off the ropes, Anoa'i goes. What are we going to see next? No, standing moonsault. Goes for the pin. Come on. How did the referee not see that? That should have been a disqualification on the spot. Wow. Well, Tanaka is having a bad night. Well, here comes Anoa'i. Crossbody on both of them. What's the best way to eliminate Zagami from being able to interfere? Eliminate him from the match. Smart wrestling from Anoa'i. He wants the win. We saw his cousin Rikishi here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation in the past. Jimmy Snuka, an honorary member of the Samoan clan. Anoa'i up to the top rope. Goes for the big splash and misses. That would have been it. Pillman would have been part of the canvas permanently. Very lucky to escape. Well, that would have been the end of Brian Pillman Jr. tonight here on Ultra. 3 great weeks of big matches here on the show. What a year it's going to be. A weak forearm from Pillman. Anoa'i fires back. Pillman's getting tired, baby, and he's hitting that hard Samoan head. Pillman ducks. Chop to the back. Clothesline attempt to the back. That's not going to get the job done. Anoa'i down. He goes for the pinfall attempt. 2, 3. Nope. 2.5. Well, I don't think you could dispute that was going to be a 3 count, but Pillman has given Tanaka the business nonetheless. Wait a minute. He's going to set him right up into Tanaka. Well, Anoa'i wasn't going for... Tanaka's in no man's land. Well, I think he caught the hand, not 100% of the head, but now we have a problem, fans. I don't know if we have a referee in the back, Eric Stefanowicz, maybe that can come out. Wait a minute, what's that? He's going to roll of coins. Oh! Anoa'i just got a face full of silver. I don't know if he borrowed that from Pistol Pietrangali, but he could count to 100. 1, 2, that's it. Wow. He calls for the bell. Brian Pillman Jr. victorious with the aid of not only Club Cam Zagami, but it looked like a roll of coins in some way, shape, or form. Tanaka laid out, and look at that, he's proud of himself. What kind of a scumbag does that in their debut, trying to make an impression? In the end, it's all about the W. He'll get the bigger paycheck than Lance Anoa'i. Club Cam in 2020 there, 2-0. What a week it's been here on Ultra Fans. Again, don't forget, Saturday night, March the 28th, it's Loose Cannons in Somerville, Massachusetts. Our return to the great city of Somerville for the first time in 12 years.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there, live.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome to MWF Ultra. I'm Dan Marotti along with Tony Atlas. Tony, the news keeps on breaking. Sunday before the Royal Rumble, we found out that along with you, Jake the Snake Roberts, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, on April the 11th in Melrose, Massachusetts, you're going to be joined by a man that maybe is not in the WWE Hall of Fame himself, but will have his brother's Hall of Fame ring with him, the genius Lanny Poffo. Leaping Lanny, maybe he'll even have a Frisbee. Who knows?
Yep, you know, Lanny Poffo, he had to wrestle in the shadow of his brother, but in my opinion, as far as wrestling skills were concerned and, you know, technical skill, I would say Lanny was the best wrestler. Now, Randy was the best entertainer, but Lanny, in my opinion, was the best wrestler. He was what you call double jointed. You know, he could bend his body bend his body to all type of different moves. So it was very hard to wrestle him because you have him in the hope and you twist his arm, but you keep twisting. You know, because he was so limber. The only guy
he was very limber.
Well, he was kind of like Mr. Wrestling number 2, yeah. Johnny Walker. Yeah. Johnny Walker, they used to call him the rubber man before he put on the mask. He was very flexible like that, where you put him in hope, but you know he could wiggle out of because he would just he just have this double joint, and Lenny the way he used to get in the ring and everything, amazing individual.
Lanny could do some amazing things.
Yeah,
amazing things.
And a great person too. I mean, when people
great
meet
guy.
him,
We had him here in the MWF before.
Yeah. When you meet him, you're gonna really like him. He's very friendly, very fan friendly. He just loved the fan, loved wrestling,
and loves himself.
Yeah, well.
Very friendly with himself.
Well, most people are.
Yeah. Well, maybe not that friendly.
Well, because they can't. They probably would if they could.
All right, wrestling fans, the discount VIP packages to Project X, Back to the 80s are on sale now, April 11th in Melrose. We're going to have a great time, Tony, but 2 weeks before that, we're going to be down the road in Somerville. For the first time since 2008, we're going to be back in the great city of Somerville, Massachusetts, a city with some great wrestling fans, but only for those 18 and up. It's going to be MWF Project X Loose Cannon, Saturday night, March the 28th. Somerville, a fantastic bar-type venue. We're going to have a Q&A. We're going to have great action, and it's going to be brought to you by Brian Pillman Jr. and the entire Uprising faction, Tony. With those conceited, selfish individuals to try and put together this 18-plus event, I think anything can happen to Project X in Somerville. Maybe,
yes.
Maybe not for the benefit of some of the other wrestlers on the roster.
And I want to make sure that I tried my very best to get there to see some of this because in Somerville, it's going to be rocking, baby. It's going to be pandemonium in the sky. And if everybody that don't attend this event, you're going to really, really regret it because I hear some talk from a couple of friends of mine, and these guys are really ready to turn it on. They're going to turn the heat up, brother. So you know, bring your baby suit, you know, be near some water to cool off because it's going to be hotter than a half-laid fox in a force fire. That's hotter than a goat in the pepper patch.
All right, I've never heard that phrase before.
You ain't from Virginia.
All right, I got to hear more about these goats. But Tony, I tell you want to talk about turning up the heat. I had a great time, thanks to WWE, at the Royal Rumble down in Houston last Sunday night when we made, earlier in the day, the big announcement about Lanny. But you want to talk about turning up the heat. What about the first weekend in April, baby? We're getting on that plane and headed south. Tampa, Florida, here we come. We join WrestleCon for, I believe now, the fourth straight year.
Fourth straight year.
No, fifth straight year. Dallas, Orlando, New Orleans, New York City, and now Tampa. It'll be our fifth straight WrestleCon.
Yeah.
We're going to have a great time. We're going to have much more information on that at BostonWrestling.com.
Do they have a zoo?
Do we have a zoo?
Do they have a zoo?
In Tampa?
Yeah.
They have Busch Gardens.
Is it got zoo animals?
There were a lot of animals. I actually fed a giraffe at Busch Gardens
Yeah,
once.
because I'm always going to the zoo a lot because I hang around the alligator and the cage a lot because I'm looking for a girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where to go with that one, fans. Believe me, like a lot of the things Tony comes up with, I'm at a loss for words, and most people say I have a pretty big mouth.
They told me I can't come there and be with the chimpanzee or the orangutan because they don't want me monkeying around the place.
I think Lanny's done a little bit too much monkeying around. And he probably did just that. All right, Tony, what a week we have here.
That's JYD I'm imitating.
I remember JYD doing that. Your buddy.
Yes.
Another Hall of Famer we wish could be with us on April 11th. But we've lost so many of the greats from the 80s.
That's what I tell people. You know, when you announce these guys, you know, they may say, oh, I'll see them next time. Don't do that. My mother said never put off for tomorrow what you could do today. Because you could take guys like Lenny Poffo, we sitting here talking about Paul Orndorff, Lenny Poffo, Jake the Snake Roberts. This may be Tony Atlas. Who knows if we're going to be there in 2021?
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
So whenever you get an opportunity to see somebody as great as these guys, and you know their success, Paul Orndorff, not only in wrestling but also in football. Jake the Snake Roberts, he got a long list of wrestling. Grizzly Smith was his father. Yeah. So, he's a sucker generation of wrestling. Lenny Poffo, sucker generation of wrestling after his father, Angelo Poffo. So these guys been around since the 70s. They're not spring chickens anymore. So, anything can happen to anybody in town. So you get an opportunity to meet somebody, take full advantage of it. When I go to these places, I was at the big event one year and Mike Tyson was there. So I wanted to meet Mike Tyson.
And he wanted to meet you.
And he wanted to meet me. So Mike, even Mike Tyson took advantage of meeting Tony Atlas because he said, how many opportunities I'm going to get to meet Tony? I watched him when I was a kid. Mr. T was another guy that when I met, I have to meet him, and he was happy to meet me too. So even among us wrestlers, we have people that we like to meet also that we feel good about me. I met President Trump. Mm-hmm. It was an absolute honor. He treated me like I was gold. I mean, one of the nicest, polite individuals I met in my life was President Trump. So I was not going to pass the opportunity of taking a picture with him and meeting him. I was not going to pass that opportunity because now I'll probably never get that opportunity again.
You never know.
You never know.
But I tell you this, Tony, one of the perks of being a VIP, not only do you get to come into the venue early, kick back, relax, but you get to take part in that VIP question and answer session where our partner in crime will go around the ringside area to those in the first couple of rows, take questions, and you can talk to the superstars yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of listening to us talk, they can talk with you. And I tell you this, at the very first WrestleFest we had way back in 2004 at the Suffolk Downs track in East Boston, Massachusetts, Lanny Poffo was actually with us on that one, along with Mick Foley, Sheiky Baby, Goldust, a Road Warrior Animal. And when one of the fans asked Lanny who his toughest opponent was, do you know what he said? Himself.
Yeah.
And you know why. But anyway, wrestling fans, along with the VIP Q&A, you know what else they get, Tony, that the fans were buzzing about? All of our featured superstars are going to get together before the doors open to the fans, and you can take the social media photo of a lifetime, you and a half dozen or so superstars from the golden era of WWF wrestling all together at Memorial Hall, all before a great night of live action. There's going to be the autographs, the photos, the Q&A, but once that bell rings, baby, it's going to be balls to the wall action, a night of excitement.
That's right. If you look back, everything y'all see now, it took off in the 80s. I mean, wrestling was good in the 60s and 70s, but when the 80s hit, wrestling was known all over the world. It got bigger than any sport on history. Hulkamania was running wild. Don Morocco, Jimmy Snooker was flying all over the place. George Animal Steel was eating up every turnbuckle in the neighborhood. Tony Atlas was press slamming 300-pound men. Junkyard Dog was swinging the chain. Andre the Giant was squashing people in the ring. It was a time where wrestling really, really took off. Where wrestling not only was in the arenas, they was also in the movies. There was a lot of wrestlers got into movies. Roddy Piper started making movies. So you could see wrestlers outside of the ring for the first time during the 80s. So this is like the birthplace of what we see today.
I tell you, fans, if you were like me when I was a young little guy just before my 6th birthday and started going to those monthly live events at the Boston Garden, this is a night for you at Memorial Hall on April 11th. Again, no matter what kind of a ticket you buy, come on out. But those discount VIP packages are on sale now, so you can sit up close to a night you're not ever going to forget. When you take that group photo that you're going to have with all of our featured superstars, Jake the Snake, Tony, Lanny, Poffo, Paul Orndorff, and others we're going to add, that is something, whether you put it on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, every person you know that wasn't there is going to be extremely jealous. It's going to be a great night, Tone.
Yes, it will. It's going to be absolutely wonderful night, and I'm looking forward to it because I just love this area. You know, I don't live too far from you guys. I live up in Auburn, Maine, which is I made New England my home. Most people don't like the cold, they don't like the snow, but I'm from Virginia, and I remember when I was a kid. Every Christmas program, come on, you see the snow, the snowman, the sleigh riding, all this stuff. We look outside, you know, it was 50 degrees. We had no snow, no nothing. In Virginia, when I was a kid, it maybe snowed maybe once every 5 years. It was only there for a day. But I got kind of used to the four season. And in New England, you could really enjoy the four season. Yeah. I enjoy my New England Patriots. I won't be able to see them this year in the Super Bowl, but maybe next year. And I enjoy coming down to Boston because the fans in Boston are the most excited fans in the world. I'd rather see Madison Square Garden. Now, nothing against Madison Square Garden. They're kind of quiet. You know, it's kind of a laid-back atmosphere in the garden. You don't hear a lot of like you do in that Boston Garden. I mean, the floor will vibrate.
Yeah.
I mean, the fans up here, they love their sport. They love their Patriots, love their Red Sox, love their Bruins, love their wrestling. You know, when you think about sports, for some reason, Boston seems like the place for sports, not so much New York or Washington or Texas. Now, Texas love their football. Oklahoma, I mean, Texas football, it's very big. But in Boston, it's like we love all sports. I even carry a little thing on my hat there, Dan.
Tony, I don't have my glasses on. I have no idea what this is.
See on the end there. See there?
Pipe fitters?
Yes.
Now, what does that mean?
What it is all the sports. If you look at it,
I see. I had the little Patriot and the Celtic.
You got the Patriot,
oh, that's pretty clever.
Yeah, it got everything right there in that one little thing. It's an old-time guy named Steve Nelson. Yeah. They used to play for the Patriots years ago, and I met him and Ricky. He was with the Red Sox for many years too.
Ricky.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I can't think of his name, but right now. But I remember watching him when I was a kid. It was enjoyable meeting him. So yeah, Boston is the area for sports.
And I tell you, this is another reason why you'd want to live in the Northeast, Tony. The Kowloon Entertainment and Dining Complex on Route 1 in Saugus.
Oh, Kowloon, gotta have the best.
What a meal we had just a couple of weeks ago, Tony.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm still full.
Oh, man, I mean, I had lobster in Maine, but I went to Kowloon and I got a lobster dish. That was the best lobster I've ever ate in my life.
That was the best you've ever had?
I never had lobster made in a Chinese restaurant before. Never had it in a Chinese restaurant.
Oh, okay.
No, I've been to seafood places that had lobster, but it's the first time when they make a lobster dish, it was absolutely delicious. You know, and Kowloon always take care of the wrestlers, the guys. Every time they have wrestlers here, Kowloon invite the boys over. He's a wonderful person, and it's a great atmosphere for eating. Yeah, easy off of Highway 1.
A lot of parking.
On. Yeah, it's a lot of parking for you, a lot of space, a great place, and every wrestler knows about it. Every wrestler knows about it.
Well, Andy Wong has been a friend of mine since 1996. He's been a friend to all of professional wrestling for several decades. He's a great human being. Always welcome at any of our events, and
Yes.
he makes us feel like we're not just going to a restaurant, but almost like we're going home
Family.
at the end of the night.
Family.
That's right.
Yeah, you feel like you're at home, and every time I go there, he's always warm and friendly. He comes to the table and talk to us, and anything you want, you can have. He's just a wonderful, wonderful individual. I will be coming up with some more artwork in the future for Kowloon. So
I'd like to see you actually draw Kowloon the restaurant.
That would be a nice.
That would be interesting.
That would be
I
very
know
interesting.
sometimes you use a little color too. Maybe the red in the logo.
Yep.
Who knows?
Yep.
But we don't want to spoil anything.
That's the idea.
All right,
That's the
Tony.
idea.
We got a blockbuster episode of MWF Ultra where he was victorious over Lance Anoa'i, certainly with the help of Club Cam Zagami, the leader of the Uprising. How that match would have turned out if Zagami didn't interfere when the referee was distracted, Tony, I don't know. I know you have quite the history with the Anoa'is. I know Arthur you competed against. I know Samu certainly you probably ran into over the years. But Lance, certainly a fan favorite in professional wrestling. What did you think about seeing Lance in action here in the MWF? One hell of an athlete, and certainly
I was not surprised. Remember you asked me earlier who would take that, Lance or Pillman. And I told you I put my money on Lance.
Well, he lost, so.
Yeah, but still, I put my money on him anyway because it's just a reputation, like you said, that, everybody in that family have wore gold around their waist sometime or another. So I just feel that it won't be long before this young man will have gold around his waist. He come from a family all the way back from Peter Mavia. In fact, they even got a little cartoon out there that featured Peter Mavia called the Maui.
I am not familiar
with this
with
girl should go out to search for this little Maui, for this little stone, where the guy is made from Peter Mavia.
You talking about the Disney cartoon?
Yeah.
What did you call it again?
Maui.
Maui. I think it's called Moana.
Yeah. He was a great Maui.
Yeah.
And so Peter Mavia was known as one of the greatest Samoan chiefs of all time. And which, then you come the Rock, then come the Alpha and Seeker, and then Tonga Kid. So everybody from that area, you Roman Reigns, that's all part of the same group. That's Seeker's son.
Yeah.
And Big Sam. So they had to have
great
a
wrestling family.
Yeah,
great wrestling family.
Whole family. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the big girl was one of them too. She's not. I hadn't seen her lately.
Tamina? No, that's Jimmy Snooker's daughter.
No, she was a great big lady too. She's a Samoan lady.
Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Nia Jax.
Yeah. She was Samoan. So it's
a big family.
Yeah, it's a big family of wrestlers. A lot of them that we even forgot. Remember the other guy that took Jimmy Snooker's face. He took Jimmy Snooker's place when he left. He was not as big as Jimmy.
Siviafi.
Yes, that's right. See, so the whole history, Tonga Kid, they go on and on and on and on. A big family of wrestlers, a big family, a wrestling family. Big.
I got to say, Tony, even though I did the commentary, I really enjoyed the Pillman and Anoa'i match last week. I'd like to see more of them compete in the future, perhaps without Cam Zagami interfering at ringside, taking a whole roll of quarters and knocking the man out. I don't care how hard your head is or how tough you are. If a grown man punches you in the face with a roll of $10 worth of quarters, you're going to be out like a light.
You're going to drop like a rock. You're going to drop like a rock.
All right, then, Tony, after the interview with Brian Pillman, we're going to take a look at the MWF debut of two new talents, two young up-and-comers very early on in their career. It'll be the prize, Alec Price, taking on Channing Thomas. Tony, after this brief timeout, we head up to the ring.
The hottest new sensation on Fox, Friday Night SmackDown, is coming to Tulsa. Feel the thrill with non-stop action.
Big dog's coming to protect your children.
Larger-than-life superstars.
Come see the boss take care of business.
And the unparalleled excitement of seeing it live.
Be there live and get yourself a first-hand taste of the power of positivity.
Don't miss Friday Night SmackDown on January 31st. Tickets and ring center packages are available.
Wrestling fans, what a matchup we have here. Two hungry young athletes making their Millennium Wrestling Federation debut. The prize, Alec Price, taking on Channing Thomas. This excites me. I know very little about both of these athletes. They've both been training at the Belltime Club facility in Wakefield, Massachusetts. Channing Thomas is the athlete in the red and gray. Alec Price in black and purple. One thing Dr. David Reese has emphasized since taking over as president of the Millennium Wrestling Federation is bringing hungry young athletes to the MWF. Athletes that want it, athletes that are looking to make a mark for themselves here in the king of sports, professional wrestling. And Channing Thomas looks very impressive early on here, taking down the smaller, more svelte prize Alec Price. We saw the debut already this month here in the MWF of Trey Lamar, TJP, Matt Seidel, Lance Anoa'i, Brian Pillman. Two more making their debut here on Ultra as we head into a big month of February. Look at that takeover from Channing Thomas. That's a man with precision. He's honed his skills. I like what I'm seeing here from Channing Thomas early on. Referee needs to get in there and break it. Alex Price's feet are on the ropes. Fans like him. The fans like him. Sometimes not knowing as much about a new athlete competing in the MWF is just as interesting as a long-awaited debut, so to speak. Look at that. I love the wrestling from Channing Thomas. He's an athlete. Not too far from our home of Melrose, Massachusetts. I believe Channing is from Saugus. Very familiar with the Boston area. And looking to make a name for himself at a young age. Oh, that was a... Oh! That snap, that almost sounded like it was Channing Thomas's nose. Look at that, head scissors into the... Oh! Middle turnbuckle. Oh, wait a minute right there. Looks like Thomas is busted open. Let the referee get in there, see what's going on. That kick to the face from Alex Price could have devastating ramifications for Thomas. Thomas trying to punch his way out of it, but look at that. Price kicks him, looks right above the eye where he's bleeding. Forearm uppercut from Price. He's looking for the prize. That's the big paycheck for a win. Hammers him again in the corner post. Side elbow. Smart wrestling, trying to wear the man down while he has the opportunity to with him bleeding. Another forearm uppercut. Snapmares him over. Drop kick right into the neck, back of the head. That could be it. Two? No, not enough. Still too early to put away Thomas, but I'll say this. His equilibrium must be rocked right about now. Face first into the turnbuckle. That kick to the face that busted him open. Drop kick to the back of the head. But you know what? He's still fighting. He's still punching. He's still going. I like it. Look, that goes for a tornado clothesline. Nope. He didn't have enough left in the gas tank. Just a step too slow. Now his neck right across the knee of the prize Alec Price going for the pin. No. 2+. 2+. Both of these men would love to see him Saturday night, March the 28th. Once Somerville, Massachusetts. For MWF Project X Loose Cannons, 18+. It's going to be a wild night as we return to Somerville for the first time since 2008 when the doors to Good Time Emporium closed down. Ticket information is going to be available real soon over on BostonWrestling.com. Look at that. Thomas uses everything he's got. Look at him going to town now in the midsection. This is what he needs to do to be successful. Use that size to his advantage and try and slow down Alec Price. Look at that Price now out of the corner. Tornado DDT. This could be it. He's not going for the pin. 2, still enough? No. 2.5, but things are not looking good for Channing Thomas right now. The prize Alex Price looking a little frustrated, like he's got a little trick right there, pulling on his hair. Don't forget, fans, we're also going to be at WrestleCon, WrestleMania weekend, Tampa, Florida. Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, and others to be announced. We're going to have a lot of fun as we do every year WrestleMania weekend, right down the street from the big event. And then all roads lead back north, 95 north, 93 north. Melrose, Massachusetts, Memorial Hall, Saturday night, April the 11th. MWF Project X, back to the 80s WrestleFest, baby. We're going back to the decade that was. Jake the Snake Roberts, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Look at that, up and over. Alex Price goes down. Tony Atlas, the Genius, Lanny Poffo, and more athletes to be announced. Super Bowl Sunday are going to be part of this great action-packed reunion. Live wrestling, autograph photo, fan fest, VIP, Q&A, and much, much more. Look at that shoulder block from Thomas. Down again. Oh, wait a minute. Shades of the Iron Sheik, Khosrow Vaziri with that suplex. I love it. Make it two. He threw him halfway across the ring. Channing Thomas getting a second wind. Maybe he's tasting that crimson mask. Maybe he's tasting that salty blood in his mouth right now. Look at that. Say goodbye to your lunch, Alec Price. This could be it right here. 1, 2, 3. No. 2.5. 2.5. Again, for more information on Project X, back to the 80s, April 11th, right here at Memorial Hall in Melrose. Check out BostonWrestling.com. Discount tickets for the VIPs are available at this price range until February 1st. Take advantage of it. We're going to have a little airplane spin here from Channing Thomas. Nope, Price gets out of it. Knee looked like right to the chin. Price might be overpowered, but he's not going down. Look at that. No. That was a very defensive maneuver from Channing Thomas. I'm not sure what Price was planning, but he used whatever power he had left to almost powerbomb him down to the mat. Price kicks out at 2. Smart wrestling from Channing Thomas right there. Not the most visually impressive thing you'll ever see, but defensive wrestling. And sometimes it's not all about the offense. You have to be defensive in there. Thomas picks him up. What are we going to see again? Up! And no, wait, Price almost lands. He might have injured his knee right there. I don't know. He's giving him a chance to regain a second wind. I think that was a whodunit right there. Kick to the face again. Could this be it? 1, 2, make it 3. They had hesitation right there. The referee got in the way. The referee got in the way right there when Thomas could have gone for the kill. Well, Alex Price used that momentary lapse in judgment to come away with a win. Well, what a debut for Alex Price. Take nothing away from Channing Thomas. Only one man can win. Alex Price gets the bigger paycheck at the end of the night. Fans, get ready for a big February here on MWF Ultra. Thursdays are going to be a lot of fun for us. And again, MWF Project X, Loose Cannons, it's 18 plus only. Presented by Brian Pillman Jr. and the Uprising. Saturday night, March the 28th in Somerville. Then all roads lead right back here to Memorial Hall. April 11th, we go back to the 80s with WrestleFest. Jake Roberts, Paul Orndorff, and a host of others. Until next week, be well.